Hi, this is Matt Donegan on Business Spotlight. I'm here with Hayley. Hayley, can you tell me who you are, what you do, and who you do it for, please?
Yes, I am Hayley. I have a company called Ruby Room. We are a women's lifestyle retail brand. So we deal with all of women's fashion, homeware, shoes, accessories, and I run the business with my parents.
Excellent. How long has it been going?
It will be 13 years this February that we opened our first store.
13 years. That's quite a long time in business, in retail, and retail
Yes.
challenging sector as well. How have you found the journey? What's it been like for you guys?
It's very different now to when it started. The world is very different. The pandemic changed a lot of things, but actually retail's been it's been great. I find that retail is full of highs and lows, whether it's a good economy or a bad economy. You have good years, bad years. We are so weather dependent now, so good summers, good winters, bad winters. But I do think if you're consistent with your product and you know your your girl, we call her your girl, who's your girl, if you know who you're selling to, then I think you can sort of weather that storm. And I think so far we've done all right with that.
Oh, well done. I mean, 13 years in any industry isn't bad going. In retail, as I said,
Yes.
quite a challenge. So, how many units have you got so far?
We have three units. Now we had Leonsea was our first unit that we opened. We then opened a store in Saffron Walden, and then we opened Hertford, I think, and then Bishop Stortford. Sometimes it gets a bit muddled. We then subsequently shut Saffron Walden as Bishop Stortford and Saffron Walden were a bit too close, and we found the crossover. Even though I must say, I think about once a week I get a message saying, "When you open your Saffron Walden branch again?" So we do have some lovely dedicated followers there. But Bishop Stortford is quite a big town now and one of our busiest shops. So we just found that it never worked having one in Saffron Walden and there.
Sure. And you do retail, do you do e-commerce as well?
We do e-commerce. We have a website, and we sell on Instagram, and we're just trying to start to sell on TikTok as well. So yes, we do have a website that we use that's fully functioning.
Okay. And how do you find attracting customers in the two different environments? So retail, obviously, footfall, you're reliant on that, how busy the town is, weather, etc. Is there a variance between what e-commerce does for your business as opposed to what retail does your business when it comes to seasonality, for instance?
Um, in terms of retail, like the bricks and mortar shop, we are so dependent on the weather now, and we are based in small towns, so lots of local people. So the challenge is there is always being different, always offering something different to what they saw last week or the week before. Why are they coming into our store? Why are they choosing to shop with us rather than going to the bigger department stores or a bit further out? So that's a challenge there. E-commerce, we're still really trying to get to grips with. I must say it's a totally different challenge to what we have in the shops. We're trying to get to a wider audience, and those audience don't know you. Our shops, our girls in our shops are very personal. They love to serve. They get to know their local customers, and we feel in all of our shops that we're part of the community, and that is definitely part of our identity as well as what we offer.
Right.
Whereas you can't really do that on a website. You can't show that you're part of a community. So we have to present our product in a way that just looks really good and gets ourselves out there, that people think that they're a reputable company, they sell a good product at a good price.
Yeah.
But it's much harder than, well, I find it's much harder to get that across than with our retail stores.
Yeah, yeah, and it's an entirely different type of challenge. What sets you apart in in the locality then? I mean, you some of the locations for your stores are fairly upmarket market towns,
Market, yes.
and is that been done on purpose? You haven't gone into the larger conurbations for that reason? You want to maintain that kind of local feel?
Absolutely. I think when you go to any of our locations, what you'll find is there are other local shops as well, but there are a lot of independents. And I think we definitely want to promote independent shopping. I think people enjoy shopping independently, and you have to offer something different that the bigger boys offer, because otherwise, why are they shopping with you? So I think um, that whole local community vibe is so important while offering a very good product.
Yeah.
So yes, it is something that we've chose, that we go into those towns, particularly because we feel that that is what we could offer: a great service and a great product. We turn over our stock quite quickly, which again, I think is good for these local towns. As I said earlier, people that come in every day or every other day or once a week for a coffee, for lunch, and they want to see something new. So we have to always be inventing ourselves, moving the shop around, offering new products, because otherwise, why are they going to shop with you every week?
Yeah, keep it fresh, know your customer. I
Yes.
mean, how much work have you done in knowing your customer? Because it sounds like if you've been around for 13 years, you know your customer.
We do pretty much know our customer. They tend to vary slightly from shop to shop, but not greatly. We are predominantly a yummy mummy kind of brand. I mean, that has changed slightly over the 13 years, I would say, and expanded. And one thing that when we went into Ruby and what we wanted was that we could have, and we have had this over the years, that three generations could come in and shop together. So nan, daughter, granddaughter, and they all come in, they could all find an outfit, they could all find a gift, they could all find jewelry, accessories. That is really what our vision was, and that has definitely happened. Within it, there's definitely certain times where we've been younger or older, but that sort of broad idea is what the vision was, and it still is something really important to us.
Yeah, and that's important to keep an identity, purpose, and
Yes.
is part of a vision of a business, and actually having that purpose is really key. So what have been the main challenges over, because 13 is quite a long time, so let's not look at the challenges necessarily across the entire 13 years.
Yeah.
What are your challenges over the last 12 months, say? What are you seeing coming down the pipeline?
I mean, as with everyone, the challenges is this, that the costs are rising so greatly. So in terms of that is hard, but also I think, and not just in the last 12 months, I think it has been since the pandemic, particularly, that there is so much choice now for people to. They can buy on TikTok, they can buy online, they can buy on Instagram, they can go into a shop, and there's so many more people doing retail in so many very different ways, that the challenge is to be different, or to be unique enough or personable enough, or offer such a good service that they want to shop with you, and keep reinventing what we're doing and offering something new and different all the time. So I think that is probably the biggest challenge for us.
Yeah. So a shop as a destination as opposed to just a window dressing. So it's an
That's it.
appointment to view kind of thing. That's great. That's really nice.
Mm.
It's a really nice way of dealing with that challenging environment where so much now, particularly with online, is going to be commoditized. And when
Yes.
big retail players, the big online retail players, that it's pushing stuff out the door, which is just cheap and cheerful. And that's definitely not where you guys are.
That's definitely a thing. There's definitely different brackets that you can go to, and we really had to be quite disciplined with ourselves to really believe in our product that we're offering, and not go down certain other routes, because I think you could do everything. There's so many different options that you want to do, but actually, can you do all of those well? I don't necessarily think you can. That you have to be disciplined and focus and think, no, what are you offering? What can you offer well? and really discipline yourself into buying that way and keeping your shop that way, and then obviously your business.
Yeah, it's really tempting, I guess, when you see a new line coming and you think, oh, that might attract a new type of customer, when in fact it might alienate your core customer or bring in people that you really don't want to serve that much.
Yeah, you just have to really, I think, know what you, yeah, no, know what you want to offer, know what your customers going to accept. And sometimes you do have to try new things. I do think that. But it's key, you've got to just adapt with it and always be on it. You can't just sit back and think it's going to happen, because it's not, unless you're driving. I mean, anyone that has their own business will know that unless you're driving the business and driving it forward, it doesn't even go stagnant. I think it goes backwards half
Yeah,
the time.
you're absolutely right. I think the expression is if you're not growing, you're dying.
Well, yeah,
Kind of sounds a bit morbid, but actually in business it is the way. It just is the way. So
it's the way to live by as well. Yeah, to
yeah,
think
yeah,
of it
absolutely.
that way.
I couldn't agree
Yeah,
with
absolutely. Yeah.
you. So in terms of that, so how are your growth goals? What's are you meeting your growth goals? Are you finding challenges getting the business to grow in the way you want it to grow?
The biggest challenge at the moment is the e-commerce, and that is something that we're focusing on. And really, we also have to make a decision as to whether that is something that we want to pursue. So at the moment, we're sort of on the cusp of really growing it, or thinking actually we're going to spend our time really in bricks and mortar and in our retail stores. So that is just something that we're thinking about. In terms of growth, I think it's just continuing to offer that service that we want to get a bigger proportion of the people in that town to shop with us.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about at Christmas, Black Friday, we've just had Black Friday. For independents, Black Fridays can be quite dire, actually. And a lot of local stores to us, especially in the EMC, they don't even get involved in Black Friday. So it's just, sorry, I forgot where I went with that.
Growth
I'm
goals.
sorry. Something.
That's
Sorry
fine.
about that.
Growth goals. We were talking about growth goals and the challenges around that. And you were saying about Black Friday, utilizing Friday for
Oh, that's it. Sorry about that. Thank you.
right?
Yes, and so you want what makes them not go to the biggest, especially at Christmas, where they've got to get a lot of different presents for a lot of different people, and then there's all these offers, and so they go to the bigger stores. So the whole thing is that we want to be offering a product that is different from them, that so you get the bigger chunk of people in your local areas coming to you and thinking, okay, I can do a few Black Friday sales, but actually I want to shop local because I'm getting a much better product, still at a reasonable price, but this is where I'm going to spend my money. So that is our growth goals in such, is just continuing to make sure that we're offering those products that people choose us
Yeah.
over other people and bigger brands. Sorry about that.
That's all right. That's fine. I go off on tangents all the time, and yours wasn't a tangent, so that's fine. It's
Something went past my window and it totally distracted me. It's a bit windy, so I apologise.
that's fine. So look, what's been your biggest lesson over the last few years?
Our biggest lesson, I think one of the biggest lessons is consistency, and riding out the storm if there is a storm, and just being consistent. And what I was saying earlier about being disciplined, I think when sometimes things aren't going well or you're having a bit quiet time, you really can panic and think, okay, I'm going to try do this and do that and go down a route that you wouldn't ever really want to go down, that you know is probably not going to be good for your business, or something that you were never considered before. So I think it's about being consistent and being disciplined. And I think if you can stay with that and know who you're trying to sell to and why you started the business, that is probably one of the biggest lessons that we've learned.
Yeah, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, what would you tell your 18-year-old self if you met your 18-year-old self in a coffee shop today? What advice would you give yourself?
I mean, I must admit, at 18, I was quite confident and brave and all the things that you should be. But I think as I got older, I found my confidence dwindled. So I'd want to keep reminding myself at every sort of milestone that to be brave, don't things can change and you can still do it the older you get. And the biggest thing, I think, even at 18, I would say, is that working hard and working consistently is really the only thing that's going to get you where you want to be. And if you think it's going to be easy, it won't. And you'll never get what you want if you're not going to really be prepared to work for it.
Yeah, I I couldn't agree with you anymore. There's no easy path. You
No,
make it easier for yourself by learning, etc., and being persistent. But yeah, there's no easy route. So,
no.
have you got any plans for the business that you'd like to share?
Got any plans? I mean, it's a great time in retail at the moment because we go from into a new season. So it's very exciting with lots of new stock, new seasons. We haven't got any. We've got some big plans for the website and the e-commerce, which are just sort of in strategy stages at the moment. So that is a huge thing for us, and that is a year to push that. We have some great things coming up, great stock. We buy so far in advance now that we really do get excited quite early on about new things that are coming in. We do also have some plans for some redecoration and renovation for our shops, which we did all new signs last year for all of our shops, our new shop fronts, and then this year we are going inside. So that's exciting, and especially what I was saying earlier with being in these towns, we do need to constantly offer something different to our customers. You know, they are very loyal and they deserve a nice shop. So we are going to do that this year. I think Hertford is starting pretty soon, so that's exciting.
Excellent. So looking after your customers even more, refreshing things, keeping things
Yes.
for your target audience. Perfect.
Thinking about as well how they want to buy. I think as well, all our shops are different. Bishop Stortford particularly is different to the other two in terms of its layout. And things have really worked in Bishop Stortford, which we want to try and utilise in the other shops. It's hard because of the layout, but we're going to make some changes so that it actually becomes a more pleasurable experience for our customer. They can see the stock more, move around better. So yeah, that's quite exciting.
Excellent. Okay. So you've shared your plans. That's absolutely fantastic. What about you personally? What about your growth goals? Are you looking to achieve more outside of the business as well as in the business?
I've had a few years of quite a lot of personal growth, I must admit, personally. And so I have three quite young children that really outside of business, I just hope that they continue to thrive and I can survive them, if I'm quite honest. I have a 10-year-old that is definitely preteen. So yeah, just hope for a lot of happiness. And I think it goes hand in hand. If you're busy at work and can show your children how to be busy and how to be effective and successful, that's definitely a pleasure showing that to them. So yes.
Excellent. I mean, it's very hard to separate business and personal life sometimes. So they often go hand in hand. People don't quite realise that sometimes if they're not a businessman. So.
No, and I can totally understand that. I do try not to do some work between sort of 4 and 8 when they're at home, but I'm always on my laptop in the evening and I'm always on my phone with work and doing things. And there's no 9 to 5 at all, which actually is quite good with children. It's great, the flexibility, but it is 24/7.
Yeah, time challenges. Okay, well, it's been absolutely fantastic speaking to you today. Thank you so much, Hayley.
Thank
I think
you.
I'll be popping into your stalls just to have a little look around, see
Oh,
what your
please do.
customer experience is like. I'll bring my wife, and I'm sure she'll find something that will stretch our credit cards. So
Well, I hope so, actually. I hope so. Yes, please do come in.
fantastic. Well, thanks so much for your time today, and let's keep in contact. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Thanks so much.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.